Hello everyone, PG Mod Gaming, and this is kind of a different video than what I'm usually used to making. I'm usually making a bunch of game videos, but today I thought I would talk about, something that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time, and that is my review of the 5th season of Escape the Night. Now, Escape the Night is one of my favorite shows of all time. One of my favorite, not just YouTube original series, but now favorite series in general. And don't mind the background. I I'm playing a little bit of season 5, but I also don't want to get copyrighted, so I put my VTuber right in the middle of it. It's fine. I'll get it all sorted out in post. But um, I have been a fan of Escape the Night for several years. I think I started watching it back in 2017 when the second season was only just out. And back then, it was so intriguing to watch like a whole bunch of YouTubers go through like what essentially was an escape room. It was such an interesting concept for a show at the time, and I've been with it watching season 3 come out, season 4 come out, back when the board game came out, which I still have that actually next to me. But when they officially announced that the Escape the Night movie, which ended up being a little mini series, came out, I was super excited because I love this show. This is one of my favorite shows of all time, and I was really excited to see what they would do with this kind of lower budget, you know, take on it. And all in all, there are some highs, but there are some lows as well. I'll talk about the lows first because I want to get the bad out of the way. Also, Joey, if you're watching this, hi. Big fan. Um, there's any chance I could ever get on a future season, that would be great because this has always been my dream to actually get on one of these. Anyway, enough of that aside. Some of the negatives that I will say about this is that, first of all, it is kind of more like, I guess, rushed in a way, in terms of like get straight into the action and then people get killed off, almost out of nowhere, just to kind of like speed things along, which I can't really blame them for. It They did not have as big a budget to make this as they did the first 4 seasons, so I can't really fault them on that. um One thing I can fault them on is some better deaths for some of the characters, which there really are only 3 deaths. Spoiler alert, by the way, there will be some spoilers. Um, but just some of the deaths felt kind of dull. More specifically, like Tana's death. I told you we were getting into some spoilers here. Tana's death felt kind of eh. Like, not really much happened. We didn't really get to see much of Tana die, which I guess isn't inherently a bad thing because we haven't seen a lot. We don't usually see a lot of over the top deaths in the series, but this one just kind of felt more meh than some of the other ones. Like, I can say like Lauren's was better than Tana's, and we didn't even get to see Tana. I mean, Tana. We didn't even get to see Lauren get killed. We kind of just watched her, get swarmed by vampires, and it was just kind of implied that she died. Tana, yeah, we don't get to see much of her die. So, not, again, not really a bad thing, again, because of the budget, but, you know, it is something that I gotta point out because it is a negative. Um, Another negative that I will point out is I don't know how I necessarily feel about the twist that it was actually Joey who gave himself the letter. It was real confusing. And what was also more confusing, which I had to actually watch season 4 again to actually, understand it, but I still don't understand it, is the fact that Rosanna's back and Tana's back, even though, last I checked, according to season 4, after they died, they were supposed to go to hell. So I don't know how that works. Manny, I understand because he was in that jar and they released the jar, and like all the other spirits of all the other YouTubers went out into the world or whatever, or at least that's what was implied. But other than that, Tana and Rose should theoretically still be in hell, unless when we saw them, that was actually them in hell. I don't know. It's confusing, and I wish that that was explained a little bit better. But now on to some pros that I really loved about this season. Like I said, it was short, but for, especially having to watch it on Thanksgiving, it was, it was quick and easy to get through without having to sit through there the entire day watching it. It was very enjoyable to have a shorter season. Now, I'm not saying that it's something that they should continue. I would prefer a longer season, but for what it was, the length was fairly decent, I will say. Also, the uniqueness of the character designs and the setting was also really unique, and I enjoyed that as well. The idea of it being set in a like VHS in the 1980s was a really interesting concept, and although I would have loved the 50s theme that it seemed like they were going for originally, I do like this approach just as much. Hopefully, when they bring it back, which I'm almost certain that they will, I'm hoping that they end up going with a 1950s for that. Um, so that, but yeah, all the outfits this season were incredibly like unique, and I feel like fit all the characters, all the YouTubers really well. And the challenges were okay. It did feel like an actual escape room rather than just not to say that the other seasons didn't feel like an escape room, but this one really did feel like an escape room, which for me, I can't complain about. I love escape rooms. I love watching people do them. I love going through them. The challenges really felt simple yet also complex. Um, so that's that's a positive that I can say. Also, the cast that they decided to bring back. Although I would have liked to see JC, okay, I would have loved to see him because he was robbed in season 3, or someone like Matt or Kim come back. I love both of them as well. I liked the cast that we did get. I feel like JoJo was a nice addition, and I did see that Joey did say that he would bring her back for another season, which like for a full length season, which I'm not complaining. I would love to see her back. As much as I don't keep up with JoJo, I would love to see her back because she was a character despite how little we saw of her. And Tana, Ro, Manny, like all of them were phenomenal choices to bring back, and I felt like brought some real character. And I do feel like they had some development since the last time we saw them on Escape the Night. So, I am sad that Ro died. I feel like she was robbed for a third time, but ain't much we can do about it. I hope Ro comes back, even though that's like a long shot. She's been in 3 of these already, but you know, I would still hope that she would come back for for a 4th season. So Joey, please make that happen, okay? If possible. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy and want to hear more about Escape the Night, I might do a video where I talk about my Dreamcast for season 6. Then let me know down in the comments. But this was an incredible season to watch nonetheless, and I'm very happy with it, and I'm very happy for Joey. If you guys want to see more of if you guys want to see more Escape the Night videos like this, let me know down in the comments below. But with all that being said, everyone, remember to stay safe, be good people, and until next time, my good friends, bye bye.